diagram also. Okay, so let us consider this example number 8. So this is a block diagram representation of a control system. So in this, for this block diagram also you can apply the Masson gain formula and you can calculate the transfer function of this control system. Okay. So what is the first step when we want to calculate the Masson gain formula? First we need to find out the forward path. So tell me the forward path first. Okay. So how many forward paths are there in this particular block diagram?
Two.
Yes, so this is first forward path, right? And this is the second one. So first forward path is having the gain, the forward path gain G. So P1 will be G. And second forward path is having the gain 1. Okay. And each forward path, if you take the first forward path or second forward path, all these two forward path touches this loop. Okay. So there is only single loop in this, right? How many loops are there in this particular block diagram?
One loop is there and one feedback loop is there.
Loop means feedback loop only. There is no difference between loop
There
and
is only
feedback
one.
loop.
Yes, there is only one.
So this, so here you can see the signal is starting from this summing junction, traversing like this through this gain block, okay? And from here we have taken the feedback and again given to the error detector. So there is only one feedback, okay? Is it positive feedback or is it negative?
Negative.
Yeah,
Negative.
it is a negative feedback, right? So individual loop gain. So what is the gain here? Minus GH, right? Negative is there, na? So we can calculate delta. What is the delta? Delta is equal to 1 minus individual loop gains. There are no non-touching loops, right? Okay. Now tell me how to calculate delta 1. Delta 1 is how much? If we consider first forward path, this through the G, right? So this is only single loop and it touches that loop. So delta 1 will be
One only.
One.
right. Delta 1 is 1. And what about delta 2? What about delta 2? Anyone? So we take a second forward path, right? This one. That is having a gain 1 now. So this one. So it touches the loop at this point. Okay, so delta 2 is also 1. Right or wrong?
Yes, sir, right.
Okay, so what is the transfer function then? Okay. So P1 is G, delta 1 is 1. So transfer function is okay. Like this way, you can apply the Masson gain formula to block diagram also. Okay. You just try this example number 9. Calculate the transfer function of this particular control system and post your answer in chat box. Apply the Masson gain formula to this particular block diagram and calculate the transfer function. Okay, anyone? Have you got the answer? Okay. So how many forward paths are there in this particular block diagram?
One.
One forward path only, right? Okay, so forward path I am mentioning here one. So gain of that forward path will be 1 upon s plus 2. And how many loops are there in this?
One only.
Which one?
So that containing the below wala 1 upon s plus 2.
Is it positive feedback or negative feedback?
Negative.
Positive. Here you can see. So signal is
Sir, there
starting
is a
from this
minus
point.
sign.
Hello?
Sir, there is a minus sign na over there
But here
at
also
R.
minus sign is there, na? Minus minus plus. So signal is starting from this point, okay. So it is traversing like this. Here subtraction is there, and again signal is going like this, and here also subtraction is there, okay. So negative, negative, positive. So it will be the positive feedback. So this one, positive feedback loop. So what is the loop gain in this individual loop? Okay. So what is the delta? 1 minus individual loop gain, right? Only one loop is there, huh? Is there any other loop in this?
No, sir.
Anyone? Anyone can answer. How many loops are there in this particular block diagram?
Single only.
No. So if you see this group, this loop, so signal is starting from this point, traversing like this, taken feedback from this point and this. So this is a loop number 2, na? And it is having a negative feedback because only one time negative sign is get introduced here. Okay. So that is a loop number 2. So what is the gain of loop
Sir,
number 2?
at that summing point, it get
At the summing point,
it's get added now.
no. What is the loop definition? It is starting from this point, okay, this summing junction, okay. It is traversing like this and again ending at that particular summing point. No node should be repeated. So here no node is repeated. Signal is going like this and ending at this point, okay. Like that way you can, for example, in SFG, what we have taken. So if you consider any SFG here, okay, signal is going like this, coming at this point. I will show another SFG. So here you can see this SFG. So here signal is starting from this point, visiting these nodes, okay, and again returning to that point, okay. So like that way. So there are two loops. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Loop
Yes, sir.
definition. So what is the gain of that loop? L2.
One upon S plus 2.
Minus 1 upon S plus 2. Negative feedback is there, na?
Yes.
For a Mason gain formula, if the loop gain is like that, okay? So minus sign is there. So here, delta will be minus 1 upon S plus 2. So delta will be 1. And what is the delta 1 in this case? What is the delta 1? Now if you see this forward path, okay, signal is traversing like this and going to output side. But here you can see,
One only.
one only, because it touches all the loops, right? Okay, so delta 1 will be 1. So what is the transfer function? P1 delta 1 upon delta. So what is the P1? 1 upon S plus 2. So this is the transfer function of this particular block diagram, okay? So you just need to remember some basic terminologies like what is mean by loop, what is mean by forward path. Okay, and that terminology I am applying here only. Okay. So let us move to the next topic. So here we can end the SFG part, the signal flow graph part. Have you understood this particular problem? Can we proceed? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so next topic is mathematical modeling. Okay, mathematical modeling of the mechanical system and electrical system. So what is mean by modeling? It is a process of obtaining the desired mathematical description of the system. Okay, and you can model the system using a differential equation, right? So if there is a mechanical system, you will use a Newton's law, and if there is an electrical system, you will use a KCL and KVL to model your system, right? So if we talk about the modeling of the mechanical system, so we use Newton's law, and mainly in mechanical system there are two types of mechanical system. The first one is mechanical translational system, and the second one is mechanical rotational system. Okay. So one by one we will see these systems, what are the components or what are the elements of those systems, and how those systems mathematically model by using a differential equation. Okay, so let us start with mechanical translational system. So in the mechanical translational system, input signal is force, okay, and output signal is linear displacement or linear velocity. Okay, so the main elements in this particular translational system is mass element, damping element, and spring element. If you consider any electrical circuit, right, there are three main components, R, L, and
Sir?
C, right? Hello.
Sir, what is mathematical modeling?
Mathematical modeling means if you want to do the analysis of any system, for example, if you take a filter, simple RC filter, okay? So what we do, we represent that equation using a ordinary differential equation, okay, or differential equation, right? So if there is an input and there is output, input is voltage, output is voltage, okay. So now you can represent this system using a differential equation. You can convert that differential equation into S domain using a Laplace transform. You can analyze your systems. So what we are doing, we are calculating the transfer function of the system. Why we are calculating that? Because when you know the transfer function of your system or your control system, you can determine that for which kind of input what output I am getting. Okay, for different kind of input, whatever the output, what output I will get. Like that way you can do the analysis of the system. Okay, so if you find out the transfer function of the system, okay, so those transfer functions or those systems are mathematically modeled by those differential equations so that you can perform the analysis on that particular system. Understood? So that thing is called as a mathematical modeling.
Yes, sir, yes.
So if you consider the RLC system, electrical system, in that there are three main components, okay? The resistor, inductor, and capacitor, RLC. Out of these three, capacitor is energy dissipating element, right? And other are energy storing element, capacitor and inductor. Similarly, in this mechanical translational system, mass element and spring element are the energy storing elements, and damping element or damper element, right? So that is the energy dissipating element. Okay. So one by one we will see those elements and their mathematical expression. Okay. So the first we will see the mass element. Okay, so it is the energy storing element, right? So if you consider this particular mass element here, okay, one end is connected to the reference here, and I am applying the force from this side. Okay, so here force direction is given, right? And this is a displacement direction. X is a displacement, V is a velocity. Okay, so when you apply the force from this direction, okay, so according to the Newton's law, the force applied on this mass element will be equal to m into a, where m is the mass and a is the acceleration, right? So you can represent acceleration in terms of velocity, dv by dt. And if you want to represent the velocity in terms of displacement, so that can be represented as a v is equal to dx by dt, right? So the expression will be like F is equal to m into d square x upon dt square. So if there is a mass element present in the system, okay, if there is a mass element present in the system, second order term is mass element present in the system and input is force and output is a displacement. So there will be the second order term present in the mathematical expression or differential equation of that system. Okay, so this is the mathematical expression of the mass element. Okay, so similarly, if you take a damper element, so if you take a damper, so in a damper element, it represents the friction present in the system. Okay, it is an energy dissipating element. So power loss will be in terms of heat due to the friction, right? Okay, and this is a damper element. So it's just like a damper element like this. Okay, so when you apply a force on this piston in this direction, right? So what happens? There is a liquid, okay? So there will be the frictional force, right? That will be now displacement will be in this direction, right? So the frictional force between this solid and this viscous liquid, right? So this viscous friction, so that friction force will be in the opposite direction of the displacement, right? So this will be the direction of that frictional force. Okay, when you apply the force on this piston, so there will be the liquid. Okay, so that viscous friction or the friction force will be in the opposite direction of this force, right? Okay, so this is the damper element or damping element. So this is represented like this. So they represent this element like this. Okay, and here you can see this damper element. Here both the ends are free. Okay, and at both the ends they have shown the displacement x1 x2. Okay, and force is applied from this in this direction, right? Okay, so you may find the condition that one end is connected to some reference, okay, or both the ends are free, like that way. Okay, so when you apply the force from this direction, so frictional force due to this damping element will be in the opposite direction of the displacement, right? Okay, and that force, applied force, will be equal to the difference between the velocity of these two ends, right? Or we can say, we can represent that using like a force is equal to B into d by dt x1 minus x2, where x1 and x2 are the displacement at these two ends, right? Okay, so like this way, in this B is a damping coefficient, so all of you are aware with this thing. So you can represent the damper element by using this mathematical expression. So if we consider that if the input force in this particular system or element is force and output is displacement, so there will be the first order term present in this mathematical equation of the damper. Okay, so this is the damper element. Then the spring element. Okay, so it is also an energy storing element, right? Okay, so if you see, if you applied the force from this direction, so there will be the opposite force in the reverse direction or in the opposite direction of the displacement. Okay, and applied force you can determine by using that can be represented by using F is equal to, according to the Newton's law, F is equal to K into x1 of t minus x2 of t, where K is spring constant or stiffness constant, right? Okay, and x1 and x2 are the displacement. So spring, if there is a spring element present in the system, so and the input is force and output is displacement, so there will be the zero order term present in your system, right? in your mathematical expression. Okay, so like this way we have seen the mass, damper and spring element. Okay, so let us see the combination of these three, an example of the mechanical translational system. So this is a simple mechanical translational system having three components. The first one is a mass, then there is a spring element, okay, then there is a damper, okay, with a damping coefficient B, spring constant K, mass M, okay. Force is applied in this direction. So displacement direction will be with the same with the force. So displacement direction will be this, okay. And if you calculate the free body, if you draw the free body diagram for this particular system, so that will be the resultant force acting on that particular mass element, right? Okay. So if the displacement direction is like this, when you are applying the force on this mass, okay, so the force due to the spring will be in the opposite direction. This one kx, right? This force due to the spring element will be in the opposite direction of the displacement. So I have represented that like this way. Okay. Similarly, the force due to the damping element will be in the opposite direction. Okay. So this one, b into dx by dt. Okay. So you can just apply the Newton's law, and so F minus kx minus b into dx by dt is equal to m into a, mass into acceleration, right, of this particular element. So what is the acceleration? If you represent that in terms of displacement, right? So that will be the second order term, m is equal to d square x upon dt square. Okay. So if you just simplify this particular equation, so you will get this particular equation for this mechanical translational system. So here you can see, if there is a mass element present in the system, so there will be the second order term present in the system, in the mathematical equation. Okay. If there is a damper element present in the system, or damping element present in the system, so there will be the first order term in the mathematical expression, right? And zero, spring represent the zero order term. Okay. So like this way, you can represent the mechanical translational system. Now here you can see, if the input is force, right, and output is displacement. So by using this equation, you can convert this equation into S domain using a Laplace transform, and you can find out the transfer function of this system. Okay, so what will be the transfer function of this system? X of s upon f of s, right? You just need to apply the LT to this particular differential equation with assuming zero initial conditions, okay? And you can calculate the transfer function of this system, okay? So I'm giving you that as a homework too. You just calculate the transfer function at this point. Just take a LT of this and just calculate the transfer function, okay? So this is a mechanical translational system. So input is force, output is linear displacement or linear velocity, okay? Now the next system is a mechanical rotational system. So in the mechanical rotational system, input signal is torque, angular force, right? And output signal is angular displacement or angular velocity, right? And similarly, here are also three elements are there. Inertia element, damping element, torsional spring element, okay? So inertia element is just like a mass in a translational system. Similarly, damping element is there, and torsional spring element is there, okay? So if we talk about the inertia element, it is an energy storing element. So whatever the torque, here you can see the particular inertia element, one end is connected to the reference here, okay? So here omega is angular velocity and theta is angular displacement, right? And t is a torque and j is a moment of inertia, right? So when you apply the torque on this particular element, okay, so that torque will be, according to the Newton's law, that torque will be equal to j into alpha, where alpha is a acceleration, right? Okay, so angular acceleration here. So if you represent alpha in terms of angular velocity, that will be d omega by dt, okay? And if you represent the omega in terms of angular displacement, So that will be the second order term will be there, right? D square theta upon dt square, right? So this will be the mathematical expression of inertia element, right? So T is equal to J into d square theta upon dt square. Then next element is damping element. Similarly, the friction, whatever the friction present in the system is, this is due to this element, okay? Energy dissipating element. So if you want to calculate the mathematical expression for this particular damping element, so here you can see in the diagram, both ends are free, okay? There may be the condition that one end is connected to the reference. So here you can see you are applying the torque in this direction, okay, clockwise direction. So whatever the force will be there, okay, whatever the torque will be there, that will be produced by this frictional element, that will be in the opposite direction. So that will be in the anti-clockwise direction, okay. So if you see that there is a displacement theta 1 and theta 2 at these two ends, okay. So torque you have applied on this particular element will be B into omega 1 minus omega 2. So omega 1 is the angular velocity, and if we represent that in terms of angular displacement, so that will be P into d by dt theta 1 minus theta 2, okay. So this is according to the Newton's law, right? So this is a mathematical expression of the damping element. Similarly, if you consider the spring element, right? So it is the energy storing element. Similarly, as we have seen, if we look at the inertia element, if the input is torque and output is displacement, there will be the second order term present here. Similarly, if input is torque and output is displacement in case of damping element, there will be the first order term. And if you talk about the third spring element, so when the input is torque and output is displacement, so there will be the zero order term present in the mathematical expression, right? So here you can see we have not seen this spring element, right? So applied torque will be K into theta 1 minus theta 2, where theta 1 and theta 2 are the angular displacements, where K is the stiffness constant, right? So like this way, we have seen these three elements. Let us consider one example of the mechanical rotational system. So in this mechanical rotational system here, you can see, so this is one disk, okay, and we are applying the torque in the clockwise direction. So whatever the torque produced by the frictional element, that is viscous fluid, and a spring element due to the shaft, okay. So there will be the stiffness and there will be the friction, right? So that friction will be in the opposite direction of the torque, or clockwise, anti-clockwise direction, okay? So that will be beta B into d theta by dt, where theta is angular displacement, t is a torque, right? Okay, and similarly, the torque due to the spring element, that will be in the anti-clockwise direction, so that will be k theta, right? Okay, so this will be in the opposite direction of the torque, okay. So you can just represent using the Newton's law, t minus k theta minus b d theta upon dt is equal to j into alpha, okay, where alpha is d omega by dt, and if you represent that in terms of angular displacement, so that will be d square theta upon dt square, okay. So if you just simplify it, you will get this second order equation, differential equation. So here, if there is a second order term, input is torque and output is displacement, angular displacement. So in that case, if there is a J factor, or there is an inertia element is there, so there will be the second order term. If there is a damping element is there will be the first order term in the equation, and if there is a spring element, there is a zero order term present in the equation, okay. So like this way, we have represent the mechanical translational system and the mechanical rotational system, okay. And now we will just see some examples. We will just look into some examples and we will see how to model those systems or mechanical systems in terms of differential equation. Okay, so let us consider this example number 1. Okay, so here they have given this mechanical system. So here you can see there is a mass element, damping element, and spring element, right? So this is a mechanical translational system, and you need to find out the differential equation of this system that governs these mechanical systems. So here you can see the force is applied on this particular mass element is in this direction, and here you can see the displacement. So this is the displacement of this particular mass element x1, or whatever the element under these displacements are, k1, b1. Okay, so here you can see the displacement x2, and here you can see the displacement x3, right? Okay, so first you find out the free body diagram for each mass element. Okay, so if you start from the m1 element, okay, or m1 mass element, so you can just find out, like, so I'm taking m1 element, right? Okay, so force is in this direction, force is in this direction, similarly displacement is in this direction. So whatever the force due to this spring and whatever the frictional force due to this damping element will be in the opposite direction of the displacement, right? So I can mention just those. So force due to K1 and force due to B1, right? Similarly, force due to this K2 element or this spring element, okay, that is also in the reverse direction of the x1, so opposite direction of the x1. So this is a force due to K2, right? And one force, the external force we have applied, this is in this direction, right? Okay. And if you see that if you applied a force on this particular mass element, so there will be the force due to opposite force due to this mass element also, right? So that is also in the reverse direction, so that will be Fm1, right? Okay, so now what is the Fk1? What is the Fk1? Force due to the K1 element. So it is a spring element, right? So K1 into, so here you can see the displacement of mass at this end, and this end will be the x1 only, right? Because this is mass element, there will not be any difference in the displacement at these two ends. So this K1, B1 and this M1 mass element will be under the displacement of x1 only. So what is the force applied by this particular spring element on this mass element? So that will be K1 into, here we have seen what is the equation for spring element?
What did
Hello?
Yes, sir. I was saying K1 into dx1 upon dt.
अरे spring element है ना, spring. K1 into
But then
K1 into
K1 into x1, right?
only.
K1 into x1 now. So that will be K1 into x1. Similarly, if you talk about FB1, because this end is connected to the reference now. This end is connected to the reference. So FB1, if you talk about FB1, so that will be B1 into, tell me.
dx1 upon dt.
Yes. And if you talk about FM1, so that will be M1 into, okay. And then what is the FK2, right? So that will be K2 into X1 minus X2, right? So this end is connected under this element will also come under displacement of this X2, right? So Fk2 will be equal to K2 into X1 minus X2. So all elements are right. There is a Ft. So according to the Newton's law, I can just represent this particular thing using this equation. Okay. ठीक है, अभी next element, okay, M2. So for M2 I will draw here. Okay, so here this element will come under the displacement of x2, right? So displacement direction is this, right? Displacement direction is this. So force due to this spring element will be in the opposite direction. Similarly, this element will be force due to this K3 and B2 will be in the opposite direction. So I will just mention those things. So that will be the Fk2. There will be the Fm2. K3 and this. Okay, so all fours are covered. So if I talk about Fm2, so that will be M2 into T square x2 dt square. If I talk about Fk2, so that will be K2 x2 minus x1, right? And if I talk about Fp2, so that will be P2 d by dt x2 minus x3, right? And what is remain now? Fk2, Fp2, Fk3 is remain, right? So Fk3 will be K3 x2 minus x3. Okay, so here according to the Newton's law, Fm2 plus K2 plus P2 plus K3 is equal to 0. Okay, so second. So what is the third one? Yeah, it is right now. Yes. So what is the third? Third element will be, I'll just make some space here. Okay, so here I will draw the third element. M3, right? So what are the forces? Forces due to K3 and B2, right? So that will be, displacement will be in this direction. So Fk3, right? Fb2, there will be the okay. Okay. Okay, so using these three mathematical expressions, I have defined this system. Okay, right? So like this way, even if they ask you to calculate transfer function, for example, if they say input is a force, okay, and output displacement is a x3, okay, and calculate the transfer function of this system. So what you will do? You will just form the differential equation first. You will draw the free body diagrams. Then you will form the differential equation. So these three equations can be formed, and just apply the Laplace transform to this. Okay, and after applying the Laplace transform, by solving these three equations, you can get the transfer function. Okay, so this is the mathematical modeling of that particular system. Okay, so can you do it for this mechanical system? Can you find out the differential equation that governs this particular mechanical system? So this is a mechanical which system? Translational system, right? Okay, so you just do this for this particular mechanical system, and just post it one or two expression in chat box. You calculate for M1. Similarly, for third system, you can calculate. Okay, so you do it that thing. Calculate for third one, or just I will show you that. Okay, and just apply this. Okay. So we have seen the mechanical system. So similarly, there is a electrical series system and there is a electrical parallel system, right? So in the electrical series system, if you talk about the electrical series system, here input signal is voltage and output signal is current, right? And as you know, there are three main elements: resistor, inductor, and capacitor. Okay, so this is a series RLC circuit. You can just apply a differential equation to this and model this system. Okay,